I want to welcome you guys aboard here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thirsty Thursday here in the live trade room. Thursday morning always means a lot of action usually. Jobless claims, durable goods. We had new home sales this morning. Now, the big thing coming out this morning, right? The big news this morning was how was the market going to react to the Fed statement yesterday? Remember that? The Fed statement yesterday, they were pro-inflation, right? They were pro-low rates, more stimulus. So we heard from the Fed yesterday afternoon. We heard some, I wouldn't say concerning news, but some very defining news. And so this morning we saw commodities had jumped to the highs because, of course, inflation fears. Okay, Euro had moved to the highs here as well because of its U.S. dollar fears. And so this morning we began thinking that 8:30 news, jobless claims and durable goods, they might really shake things up this morning. Well, what happened was we put together a pretty good plan of attack. Now, forget the hindsight. Let's go back and see what we were talking about at 7:30 this morning. Because anybody can go back in time right now and say shoulda, coulda, woulda. But what were we thinking about this morning? Well, first of all, we talked with the dollar. And we saw that the dollar had a bear price channel. So we did expect the dollar to keep falling, but what did we say before we finished up the review of the dollar? We said, be careful because the dollar, it may change its short-term trend from down to sideways in a heartbeat. So we knew that dollar index definitely might go sideways, and if it did, we'd have to be ready for some sideways ranges as well. And what happened? That's exactly what happened. Dollar went sideways. We really never got that big dollar move. And that's why you can see here we never really got a big move on any other markets. Got a big move on the Russell this morning, but that's about it. That's about it. So the dollar index gave us a big clue right away. Bear channel, short-term trend was down. That short-term trend quickly changed, right? Quickly changed. Now, here on crude, this was classic. We love this stuff. This is a great example of an easy trading strategy this morning. Guys, look at the snapshot. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. We posted this, right? We don't need hindsight here. At 7:30 this morning, we go over our plan. And our plan was very specific. We had this wedge high. We're right in the wedge. And we said, very simple, I'm going to sell those wedge high and bring it back down. And what do? We waited for it. We waited for it and sold. Now, the initial trade we took was a long position. And you can see why. We had just enough room. Here was my first trade today. It was long. And if you recall, here was our wedge. This was that big wedge high. And of course, the big wedge highs, that's not only a magnet and a target, but you can see also an outside day. We are above the previous day's range. What does that tell me? That tells me buy that pullback right there. Momentum looked great. What happened for news? News came in pretty much as expected. What were durable goods though? Because durable goods, those are really important, right? What were durable goods at 8:30? 8:30 durable goods, 1% higher. Expecting 2%, they got 3%. Now, jobless claims were higher than expected, but pretty much within reason. The key was jobless claims were below the 400,000, but the durable goods, what does that mean for crude oil? If durable goods orders are increasing, that means they need more crude. The supply will be the same. Demand will increase. Price will rise. So you buy a pullback, first pullback here, 21 range style, perfect momentum. We knew we had to be careful, though, obviously, with the high of that channel, so we made sure that our profit target was just off the high. It ended up going right on through, but anyways, a conservative entry. We had just enough room to get into it. And then you can see here, we found some double bottom resistance. Double bottom meaning the resistance projection up top. We found a two-step pattern. We sold the highs here, sold the highs here, gave you guys the exact entry on the second one, 75 to 50, and made a bunch of cash going short. So we did a great job following the plan. The plan was to sell those highs. And you can see I took initial trades going long. But then once we get up there, crude short, short, we were selling it off. So the first couple trades this morning on crude, going long, buying pullbacks above the previous high of day, outside day. The next trades, we're selling the highs. You can see them right there. Selling the highs here